Hey, it's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More here with a technique tip. Today I'm going to look at doing the leopard print that you see from time to time on various door hangers and other indoor decor items. I'm going to start with a fairly light brown paint, and you can pick any color. I like to use the lighter color on the inside and then the darker color around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I've just got a flat brush. You can use flat brush or a filbert tip brush, which is the one that's round on the end. And I'm just going to dip in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make what is going to be the center part of the leopard print. And basically you're just kind of making a blob. So you can add a little cloud look to it if you want to. You can get as fancy as you want with this. So I'm just going to make a few and just kind of smear a little paint around. I know that sounds real technical. But we're just going to make some little, we can make them different sizes and make a little one. It's not really a circle. It's got little bumps, little blobs or splotches. You can make it as wavy or as circular as you want it. I'm just going to make a few here just to give you an idea of how we do the leopard print. Now, this of course is just thicker sketch paper. And so the background is white, but you could have a background of any color. I've done leopard print on light like off-white or buttermilk color. I've done leopard print on orange color. And that particular way, if you wanted to do it that way, where you've got one background color and all you want to do is the lines of the leopard print, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But if you've got a background and you want to add color spots and the little outline, this is what you would do. You just make your little blobs. Make your blobs first, or your little puffy balls, I guess you could call them. I'm going to dry these real quick. This is on paper, but I still want to make sure that it's dry before I start doing anything with the other color. And you can actually, as far as the darker color goes, you could use either stick with the brown family and use a darker brown. I'm going to do that on a couple of them. Or you could even just go with black. A lot of times when I'm doing leopard print, I'll use black. Alright, so dry that real quick, and I'm going to start with a chocolate brown. I'm not going to get a whole lot of the chocolate brown, because I'm going to do a little bit brown, and then I'm going to do a little bit in the black. So I'm going to go ahead and put the black on here as well. Alright, so I'm going to start with the brown. Now what I've done is I've got a round brush on this one, and so you could use a smaller flat tip brush. I like using the brown because when I go to kind of make my lines, it's a lot like just sort of making lines for lettering. So when you're doing lettering and painting, you do it more like strokes and not so much like you would if you were writing the alphabet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and just kind of go around, and I may do one. I just kind of squiggle it. So this is not where you have to worry about so much being straight with your lines. You want them squiggly. And I may do this one with like 3 sides. And this one I may do with like a C side. Now that's a little too much squiggle for me. Depends on how you want your leopard print. Some people like more squiggles, some people like less squiggles. You can do one that looks like a C. You can do one that takes up 2 sides. Now, a lot of times I'll go over mine a time or two, and some of the some of the outlines will have thicker lines and some of them will have skinnier lines. So again, you can do some that look like a C, some that just have 2, or you can do some that have 3. Then I said I was going to do some with black, and I've almost done them all with brown. Alright, so here's what it looks like with black. So I'm just making some lines. It doesn't have to be major squiggles. Just a little wiggly as you go around, and you can always straighten it out if you don't like if there's too many wiggles for you. So I typically, you'll see me do a lot of the 2. I do some 3, and then every now and then I'll throw in one that has a C, especially if it's kind of on the edge, and then I'll throw one in that actually has a C. Now, if you've got a colored background, say we've got green or blue or orange, and you just want to do just the outline part. So all I'm going to do is just make that same squiggly line. And I'm just going to make the same shapes I made up here. So this one I may do with 3. And I'll come back and thicken it up. So again, we have 2. We have that are kind of angled. We have the C, and then we have 3. And so that's how you do the leopard print. It's really not very complex. Some people like, instead of doing big blobs, they like to do something like this, and then they'll come back afterwards, and what they'll do is they'll take some lighter color brown, and they'll just kind of put a dot in the middle. And so that's how they do their leopard print. So I've seen it done a couple of different ways. They don't do the bigger blobs. They just kind of add a little color in the middle. So there's 3 different ways you can do it. You can do it with the blob and then coming around on the outside, or you can do it where you're just doing by itself on a colored background, in which case it's just, you know, squiggled around like a C, or you can do it like 3. Or you can do it like this, where you do your squiggles and then you put blobs in the middle of them. So there's your 3 techniques, 3 different techniques for the leopard print. If you have any questions or would like further information, or if you have a suggestion for a technique tip tutorial, email me at quiltedtreasures.more@gmail.com. This is Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. Thanks so much for watching.